Okay, these are the answers to the test you took on worksheet K, and some common mistakes or just some words that you need to understand. One, again, is a multi-step equation, 4 steps. Most of you are getting this first step where you distribute, but again, since these are on the same side, it's just 2x minus 3x, which is negative x or negative 1x. 6 minus 12 is negative 6. And then on the right hand side, we can combine the 5x and negative 4x to get 1x. 15 and 3 is 18. And then we go down, pick on the smaller one, and all that. But most of you, if you're making a mistake, it's with that combining like term step on the left side and then the right side. Number 2, still a proportion. Multiply diagonals 4 steps. Again, most of you are doing fine on distributing and even picking on the smaller variable. The mistakes here kind of happen down here at the end, where if I subtracted 14, I get 7x equals negative 5. And then again, we're dividing by the number in front of x. So I'm dividing both sides by 7. A lot of you had 7 over 5, but the correct answer is x equals negative 5 over 7. Number 3, again, multi-step inequality, 4 steps, follow exceptions, show solution on a number line. Again, mistakes didn't really start happening until we got down to about here, where the variable's on the right hand side, so we need to add 14, divide by 3. Again, if I end up with x on the right hand side, I need to flip everything. So I'm going to move the x to the left hand side, I'm going to flip the inequality sign, and move the 7 to the right hand side. A lot of people got number 4 right this week, where it's get the variable by itself in the middle of inequality signs and show solution on a number line. Some common mistakes is we didn't color in this circle because it had the line underneath, so it's equal to. Other than that, that one was pretty good. Number 5, this compound inequality, the main mistake happened here. When you divide both sides by a negative 4, that's one of our exceptions. So you needed to flip the inequality sign to make it x is greater than or equal to negative 2. Number 6, we're graphing the line with the table. This week I think almost everybody got this right. We're really getting good at this. But again, just double check your work if you missed it. Plugging in 0, 1, 2. Make sure when you plot these points, 0, negative 5, that you go left or right first and then up or down. So 0, negative 5, 1, negative 2 is over 1, down 2, 2, 1 is over 2, up 1. Number 7, put in y equals mx plus b form, solve to get y by itself in the equation in that form. Again, we're moving the x term to the other side and I'm changing the sign. Since this was a minus 5y, we have to bring it down as a negative 5y equals. So if I moved it, I change it to negative 3x. The 20 is positive, so plus 20. What a lot of you forgot this time was to bring down the negative 5 when you divide, because there was a negative. So we're dividing everything by a negative 5. So that leaves me with y equals. Now here, a negative divided by a negative, even though they don't reduce, negative 3 over negative 5 becomes a positive 3 over 5 because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. 20 divided by negative 5 is negative 4. Number 8, slope with rise over run. Again, a lot of you are getting this. Just remember that it's rise over run. It's a fraction. Some of you are still writing this as an ordered pair. And if it can be divided, we need to divide it out. So negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. Number 9, slope formula. Use m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 to find the slope. Again, most of you got this down or are getting real close. Again, just make sure, guys, you use parentheses when you substitute and take the time to label x1, y1, x2, y2. Then it's just a matter of putting it where it goes and doing simple arithmetic. Now, a lot of you left your answer as negative 2 over negative 3, and I counted it right, but I also wrote out to the side again Since we got a negative divided by a negative, that makes it a positive 2 over 3. So 2 over 3 is the best answer. Again, I accepted negative 2 over negative 3. Number 10, state the slope and y-intercept in graph y equals negative 3 over 2x minus 2. Almost everybody is getting this part correct. The negative 3 over 2 and for the slope, and negative 2 is the y-intercept. The graphing, again, we start with the y-intercept. The y-intercept is negative 2. So you go to the y-axis and go down 2. The slope is negative 3 over 2. So again, that's rise over run. So if I rise negative 3, that means I go down 3. And if I run positive 2, I go right 2. And that gives me my other point. Okay, number 11, again, graph with the x and y intercepts. Again, just keep in mind, when we're finding the x-intercept, we're putting in 0 for y. So I write out that step, and then 5 times 0 goes away. Again, make sure you divide by a negative if there's a negative number in front of the variable. So you should have got x equals negative 5. The y-intercept, you should have got y equals negative 2. Again, these are two distinct or two different points on the graph. Some of you are graphing this as one ordered pair. Negative 5 is the x-intercept, so I go to the x-axis at negative 5. Negative 2 is the y-intercept, so I go to negative 2 on the y-axis and then draw my line. Number 12 again begins our WELs. Again, with our WELs we need a checklist. We need to find M and B. As soon as I find M and B, then I can write my equation. In this problem, they give me the slope is negative 3 over 2 and the y-intercept is 5. So M is negative 3 over 2, B is 5. So I can write my equation y equals negative 3 over 2 x, and since B is positive, plus 5. 13, a lot of you had backwards, but it says Granny has already baked 3 pies. So I mean, she's already taken care of, or already done that, so that's the current value she's already baked. She will continue to bake 2 pies per day. Again, whenever you see that word per, that's going to tell you that's the rate. So the rate is 2, current value is 3. So we plug it into y equals 2x plus 3, but it tells me the total number of pies, p. Again, y is always representing our total. So I replace the y with the p. D is the number of days, and that goes with where the x is. 14, write the equation of a line in y equals mx plus b form for the line that passes through negative 4, negative 3 with a slope of 2. Again, it tells me m, so I've got to find b. Again, to find b, I use the x and the y they give me, so I put in negative 3 for y, 2 for m, negative 4 for x, and work it out. Negative 3 equals 2 times negative 4 is negative 8 plus b, so here's my variable. I got to get rid of the negative 8 by adding 8. Negative 3 plus 8 is positive 5, so that's b. Now I've got m and b, so now I write my equation y equals 2x plus 5. Number 15, in this problem, they give me 2 points. So if they give me 2 points, I've got to find the slope. Again, that's just the slope formula. And that will give me 10 over negative 5 is negative 2. So negative 2 is my slope. Then I just picked the point for negative 2 to use. I could have also used negative 1, negative 8. So I put in negative 2 for y. M is negative 2. X is 4 plus b. So negative 2 equals negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. Plus b, so again, here's my variable. Got to get rid of the minus 8 by adding 8. B equals 6. Once I got m and b, then I can write my equation. So y equals negative 2x plus 6. Number 16, again, if it's parallel, it means it has to have the same slope. So the slope they give me is negative 3, so that's what I used. They gave me an x and a y, so again, I plugged it into y equals mx plus b. Negative 1 for y, m is negative 3, x is 6, worked it out and got b equals 17. Once I have m and b, write my equation. Y equals negative 3x plus 17. Number 17 is the WEL with perpendicular, which means a negative reciprocal slope. So the slope they give me is 1/3. Negative reciprocal, the negative part means I change the sign, so it goes to negative. Reciprocal means I flip that, so it becomes 3/1. Negative 3/1 is -3. So again, my slope is -3. Then I use the point they give me to plug in for x and y to find b again. And again, once I have b and m, then I can write my equation, in this case, y equals -3x minus 1. Number 18, solving a system with graph. Again, guys, this is just graphing two lines using m and b.
Gavin White, come to the high school office.
Sorry about that announcement, but...
Gavin White, come to the high school office.
And that announcement. But again, it's just graphing two lines using m and b, kind of like we did on number 10. So I took the first equation, b was 2, m was -3/4. So I started at 2, went down 3 to the right 4, and drew that line. Second equation, the b is -3, so I started at -3. The slope is 2, so I went up 2/1. And again, I'm concerned about where the two lines cross. So this is about 1, 2, up a half, so about 2, half. 19. Solving system with substitution. Use the substitution method to find the OP where the lines intersect. Again, we try to find a variable that's by itself, which is the y in this case, and we take whatever it equals, which is 2x minus 3, and substitute it for the y. So the other equation now becomes 2x plus 3, parentheses 2x minus 3, because that's what y equals 7. Then it's a matter of just working that out like a multi-step equation. You get x equals 2. Then we take that answer and plug it back into our equation we use for the substitution. Y equals 2x minus 3. Well, now y equals 2 times 2 minus 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. Remember to write your answer as an ordered pair. Whatever we got for x comes first, then whatever we got for y. And finally, number 20 is SS with elimination. So these are opposite signs, so we can add the two equations together. 2x plus 1x is 3x. 4 plus 11 is 15. Then we divide and get x equals 5. Then I just picked the top equation, plugged 5 back in, worked it out, and got -2. Again, write as an ordered pair, x comma y, which is 5, -2.